Welcome everybody to Soar and Pair, Why Not Together, episode 42.
Yay. Hi.
Hi everyone. It's been a little while. We'll explain why.
Yeah.
But remember that Soar and Pair is soaring together to explore new adventures while inspiring others to create their own. Boy, have we had an adventure that we'll talk about here in a little bit.
Yeah. We're feeling a little beat up here at the moment.
Yes, so if you see a few yawns or if Sandy nods off while I'm droning on, which some of you may do anyway, it's totally happens. Happens at work. People are like, "Are you done yet?"
Seriously?
I hope I'm wrong.
I hope so.
But this last week, I finally, one of my goals, since I have the grand piano for about another 4 months before I let another household borrow it for a year or two, was to perform a piece that I've been working on over the past 2 years. The original goal was to get it ready and to perform it with a band and orchestra down at Central Arizona College. All that's been put on hold, and for how long we don't know. But I decided to do a rendition of Rhapsody in Blue without the orchestra. So kind of figured out some of the piano parts and played it on the piano. It was interesting because I was feeling very frustrated at work and I was working at home and nobody was here. So I said, you know what? I'm taking a break. I grabbed the camera and I set it down and I'm like, I'm doing this, and boom, I just played it out of pure emotion. So if you're interested, you can go to my YouTube channel, Jim Sorensen, and it's about 13 minutes, but it's the entire Rhapsody in Blue piece.
And it turned out so good. It's very pretty, and the emotion, I think, definitely came through, for sure. I love watching him play. His eyes are closed. I'm like, how are you doing that?
Feeling the way I was, it was more like Rhapsody in Red, you know. But
well, it looks cool too because you can see the reflection of the trees outside through the piano, but then you can also see the reflection of the stairs, and so it's this weird.
So she's basically looking at everything but me and my
piano. I look at everything. It's really cool. I think it turned out neat.
Yeah, it did. I just kind of set the tripod down and said, here we go. So sometimes that works better than
absolutely
fussing over it.
I think so, yeah.
So yeah, that's something I wanted to post on my grand piano, and there'll be another major piece that I've been working on that I'm going to do in the next little while. So I'll leave you hanging on that, but you can go see all my videos and enjoy.
Awesome.
Yeah, and what about you?
For me, well, the website, we had a few glitches, which, technology, but we had a problem with the calendar not working quite as expected, and so that's been ironed out. It is working now. Just a reminder, we're taking appointments now, and you'll be able to see the calendar, and it was flipped, but you'll be able to see it now to schedule your appointments as you like.
And don't forget, it's Sandy Soren, SOREN.com.
Yes.
And you'll see her smiling face. And if you want to look at the pictures, it's some goofy pictures of us traveling and, in the gallery.
Yeah, and I'm going to be getting some new pictures done with Tamara Lucero, a good friend of ours who is a great photographer. And so I'm super excited. So in the next few weeks, some of the pictures on the website will be changing.
Glamour shots.
No. That's so not me. But just different pictures. So I'm excited to do that with her.
Yeah. That'll
See
be
how
great.
it turns out.
That'll be great. So.
But yeah, that's about it as far as updates for me.
So the big question is, Soren Pair, why did you skip a week?
Unannounced.
Why is it 2 weeks? And we did warn you at the beginning of the year this may happen. As you all know, we're preparing to move out of this big house to downsize and move into an RV and travel this summer. So that means
a lot of work.
yes.
Means a lot of work.
And we had the goal because in Arizona it gets very hot starting in April. So our goal was to have a garage sale this month.
Well, it was still cool. Yeah.
So we did. But last Sunday we started the prep work, and we started in the morning, and before you knew it, I don't know, the time went by quick.
Yeah, we worked all day and well into the night.
We looked at each other like, we'll try this tomorrow night. Tomorrow night came and went, and then sort of things happened in the week, right?
Yeah, it was just kind of, yeah, things happened.
Forgive us.
Sorry. But yeah, it got kind of crazy there for a bit, but I think we're both feeling it.
Right.
But it was good.
It was good, and we want to talk about today purging the physical and emotional baggage in our lives. So,
right.
Obviously we're talking about the physical part because, I don't know, we had almost a room full of stuff that we had to, up here in the second floor, take down. And I want to point out something. When somebody is visiting with her neighbor, and yours truly just like letting them talk, it's nice, they're visiting outside. Right when I brought the last box down, she turned around like, okay, I'm ready to help. I'm like, I'm done.
Well, you could have waited.
And I kind of overdid it. I was really, really overheated. I ended up, I felt like Igor. My back was out, my this, my that. Yeah, it was my own fault. But I had to give her, some crap about it because she just talking away, oblivious as I'm going up and down the stairs, carrying all the stuff that last Sunday we sorted and sorted and sorted.
Yeah.
Some of those boxes were way too heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, they were.
But, so this ordeal started Thursday night, so this is 3 nights away. It feels like 2 weeks ago.
Well, it has been. It's not like we got all this done in, 1 week. It's been a process over time of gathering everything together and kind of getting ready. But the real work started in the last week. Yeah. Right.
And so we decided to have the garage sale Friday and Saturday morning, and we put it on Craigslist. We put it in the next door in our neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And then we were, I'm losing my voice. Just so
emotional.
So traumatized by this. I think I have PTSD from garage sales. But anyway, no, we had fun. It was exhausting though. So after work, we started Thursday night, just setting up the garage. We have a 3-car garage. We took all the cars out. We brought tables in, and it was getting
used up the whole garage.
Yeah, we did.
Pretty big. Yeah.
Yeah, except we were kind of. Sandy would go put something on this table, and then I would go grab it, and then put it on another table, and then she would go get that and put it somewhere else. She finally's like, are we just moving stuff around that, the same item has moved like 5 times?
Well, I kept trying to group, like holidays, seasons. I had all the Valentines. And
she had all this in her head.
Halloween together because that just made sense to me.
It did,
no,
but she didn't verbalize it to me. So
I didn't think I had to. It looked pretty obvious to me.
Guys, there you go. She didn't think she had to. I'm a guy. You have to be very literal.
Apparently.
But we had we had music blasting, and in the midst of all this, we had a surprise visitor, right?
Yes, my son from Oregon showed up.
With his girlfriend?
Yeah, with his girlfriend, which you can see he was sleeping in here because that little marble there.
He tends to leave marbles everywhere and rocks on the ground. He likes to play little pranks.
Yeah, he keeps locking the walk-in pantry, so you go to open the door and you always know when Zach's been here.
Mm-hmm. He's like mischievousness is his middle name.
Yeah.
But so that happened in the middle.
It was good to see him.
Yeah.
It was very good to see him, and I really liked his girlfriend. Yeah.
Yeah, Ellie was cool. And they went out to eat while I worked.
Yeah, you went to Tune.
Yeah. I'm always working. What can I say?
Oh, everybody. Oh.
Am I wrong?
No.
Okay.
No, you're not.
Not complaining. It's just, it is what it is. So after work on getting back to the setup night, because this story definitely needs to be told. The greatest story never told. The greatest garage sale story never told.
Okay.
So again, we were kind of dancing around, trying to set stuff up, and clothes over here, books over there, kitchen stuff there. I mean, it was just all over the place.
Okay.
What?
Where are you going with this?
I don't know. I'm trying to.
I'm trying to figure out. I thought he had a point.
I always have a point.
So
the point is, we had a lot of stuff to set up. It was till midnight. We were setting up, and then we're like, "Oh my gosh, we got to put out signs."
We were
So the painter here gets a black brush and starts making signs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We got the signs put out at 12:30 and got a few hours of sleep.
Yeah, I'm just glad we didn't get stopped by the police saying, "What are you doing with these boxes and signs and stuff?" So so we got it all ready to go. Got a little bit of shut eye. Opened the garage at 7:00 and nobody was there. It was just like, yeah, we're here.
Very anticlimactic.
I'm like, why did we do this?
I know.
And then a couple people tripped.
We got busy. We definitely
we
got
did.
busy.
Like the one thing the one guy asked for was golf clubs, and I put them out and I shouldn't have because our son wanted to keep them, and I'm like, oops. You got golf clubs? No.
they sold. What
No. So, but we started to get busy, and honestly, we're not very good negotiators. In fact, you're like, just take it.
I was like, whatever you can fit in a bag.
She kept saying, I kept hearing, I'll give you a deal. Just fill up that bag. I remember one guy, I don't know, he picked up this thing of Pure Light or whatever. How much? And she says 50 cents. I mean, he goes, how about $1? And I'm like, I like this negotiation. Because it was so low. He's like, I got to give you $1.
I don't care.
Needless to say, making a lot of money was not our goal.
No. The goal was to get rid of these things and really, purging, lightening the load. Really, it was, there were kids coming by and I was just giving them things. It's more about.
We're pretty sure somebody took something without us, and we're like.
Oh, I know she did. I caught somebody stealing from a yard sale.
Take it.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
As long as it's not our cell phones or
something exactly. No, that kind of surprised me, but it's okay.
Well, and so the fun part of garage sales is you meet some people in your neighborhood that maybe you haven't met before. People walking by.
We got to meet quite a few of our neighbors, and we got to visit with them for a while. And
right before we leave.
Yeah, yeah. I know, kind of ironic, but met some really cool people.
Yes. The not so cool thing is it's a lot of work.
Well, it's a lot of work. We're feeling kind of beat up, but yeah.
Right.
The thing about this is it's more about definitely it's about lightening the load, but it's also about I've been going through the excitement of the move of what's coming for us, but I'm also going through, and I talked about this a few weeks ago, the flip side of that, which is the emotion. I'm just for as excited as I am, I'm also that much nervous, and it's kind of surprising me at times how it comes up.
Yeah, well, I definitely think we're riding that wave, and this felt, I mean, it's one thing to talk about it.
Well, I just want to recognize it.
Right.
Yeah.
but,
sure.
But when you start actually taking these big steps like we did, we got probably, I don't know how many pounds of stuff we got rid of. So, we didn't get rid of everything. And so today, Sunday, was donation day, because we're not taking any stuff back, right? None of it's going back in our house.
Right. If it's hit the garage, it stays.
Right. That's kind of the cardinal rule. So I did, but you helped me with one. 4 trips to Goodwill in an SUV. That's a lot.
It's a lot of stuff, especially for as much as we sold. Yeah.
Right. Then I had the bright idea, because there's this book exchange store. I'll go down Phoenix, and I have these DVDs and these CDs and books, and I'll just go down and exchange. This would be great. And, they give you money, or you can store credit. Awesome. So I go by Goodwill to give them a few more things on the way down there, and my thought was, why don't I just give them all this instead of, no, I'll go. 2 hours later, I basically had gone to 2 different places twice, and they told me most of the stuff I had they didn't want. Take it back, so I had to offload it from the car to them and then take it back. I got $15 out of the whole thing. And I drove back up, so 20 miles, drove back up at the same donation place and just gave them the rest of the stuff. I should have just done it 2 hours previous. She thinks it's funny because I'm the one that was like driving.
I feel so bad for him, really, I do.
Yeah, I have a funny way of showing it. It seemed like I hit every red light. People were yelling at me about letting them go. I mean, it was just an interesting lesson on, especially after a long weekend, like patience. Like, okay, it's okay.
And he handled it beautifully.
So, yeah, I came back and I said, I'm done. I'm really done.
Yeah, you stopped to let a guy across the street and he yelled at you.
Yeah, like, keep going.
What are you doing?
Yeah, he yelled at me and said a few choice words. I'm like, have a nice day. So, yeah, it was just one of those afternoons where you just have to ride the wave. And but I was determined to offload this stuff, and I was tempted to just chuck it out on the freeway, but
right.
I would have got in trouble for that. So Goodwill had like 5 SUV fulls of stuff. So our garage is basically,
Yeah, it feels, and that was kind of my point, is, as you get rid of the stuff, you create space. And that's emotional in and of itself, but it allows you to breathe. I mean, we both kept just walking through. We were walking through the different rooms and different places in the house just to kind of see what else needed to be cleared out. And this guy over here kept wanting to get rid of more stuff.
How about that? And how about that? And how about that?
We still live here.
So I guess we should not sell our bed, or sell the couch that we sit on. No, it's so how I feel about this is exciting to me because, especially stuff that we haven't used or we've been storing or hanging on to.
Yeah.
We never even use. To me, I've heard this before. Like, if you don't use it, like at least every 6 months, then let it go. I mean, we do have a few sentimental things we're hanging on to that we don't necessarily use. So that, we don't open the picture album every 6 months. But outside of sentimental things, and decorations, we got rid of a lot of Christmas and Halloween decorations.
Well, and I passed a lot on to the kids. So.
Yeah. They see us coming and they start running like, oh no, they've got more stuff. So, but
Sorry, guys.
I really feel like even if you're not moving like we are, even downsizing, I think it's a very cathartic thing to go through and give some stuff away, and to donate it, because you're freeing up all the stagnation, in my opinion, that happens when you have stuff everywhere. Because in my former life, I used to live around a lot of stuff. Not hoarding, but definitely on the way to hoarding. And so I really appreciate this back here to all of you. But I really appreciate the open spaces and the fact that we're not minimalist, but we're somewhere between normal and maybe minimal. We don't like a lot of stuff everywhere. Clutter.
Yeah.
It's all about decluttering.
Yeah, it's, about creating space and flow and moving things around, and again. It kind of shakes things up and moves the energy. It just feels good.
So we've been talking about...
If you start to feel stagnant, it's a good thing.
It is. So, I mean, to me, this has really been a really good experience, and it's not only on the physical level, but it definitely has gone to the emotional level, right? Which also we wanted to talk about a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So, emotionally, getting rid of the baggage, why is that important?
Well, because the energy has to move. It has to move through you. And if you don't allow it to move through, the energy gets stuck. And so, over time, that can cause bigger problems. It can cause health issues. It can cause a lot of problems.
Right.
In that way. And it builds up. It can definitely build up and just continue to get worse and worse.
So it's like decluttering the emotions, so not letting them get stuck. To me, I almost see it as like a river, flowing, emotional river flowing through you. And the more you have these big rocks in the way, that creates turbulence, right?
That's a good way of putting it.
And you got to keep those beavers out because you don't want a dam in that river. You didn't see me going that way, did you?
I don't think anybody's could have seen that.
Keep those beavers out of those emotional rivers. No, but just like Madagascar said, you got to move it, move it.
You got to move it,
Right, you've got to allow. And one thing I really appreciate about you, all joking aside, is that, boy, when she's feeling an emotion, it moves.
It does.
It really does, right then and there. And
it can make your head spin sometimes, and I know that. But
right, but I appreciate that about her because A, I usually know to stay far enough away not to get hurt. But B, it's seriously a matter of giving her the space because I know by her releasing it or
I get over it quick.
Yes.
Real quick. Yeah.
Yes. And we don't have an issue in our relationship. Remember when you did X? Or remember, how come you're always, because we talk through that, we move through that and keep things in the present instead of these stuck resentment emotions of the past.
Yeah, the regurgitating of old stuff. You're right. I agree with that. And that's the thing is, allowing it to move through quickly is, I think, huge because otherwise it does get stuck and then next thing you know, you can't move and you don't know why. So if you're feeling, I guess the best way to say it is if you're feeling something, allow yourself to feel it. And we heard just recently, a couple weeks ago, that if you sit with an emotion, no matter how uncomfortable it is, if you can sit with it a good 45 seconds, it will move, it will transform, and then you can get through it faster. You don't have to sit with it for days. If you can just do that 45 seconds to a full minute, you're already starting the process.
Right, and you're decluttering yourself, so to speak, because what we were talking about with the garage sale and what you're doing in the house, I think is a reflection of what's going on inside. Yes,
absolutely. Absolutely. A good example of that is when I was in nursing school, before I could focus and study, is I would clean my space and declutter it because it created that energy, that open energy for me to be able to move and breathe.
Same thing for me with writing music. I can't, so it's like I need to get to a space that's kind of my own, that I'm open to that creative. And I think everybody has that, whether they're a painter, whether they're, a cook in a kitchen, when you're creating something, It's having that. And so again, by clearing your home and taking the clutter out, I think that opens you up for more possibilities, more creative. And that's really what we're heading to, is a whole lot of possibilities because we're changing so much. But we're decluttering and we're downsizing. And you don't have to do it as extreme as we are doing, but I would recommend and challenge you to, what's stagnant around you, and how, and do you really need to hang on to all that stuff,
Yeah. Well, and tell me, I keep mentioning how I'm feeling the emotion of this. Are you feeling that too?
Absolutely not. Nothing. I don't feel nothing.
Shut up.
Yeah, actually, very similar to Sandy. I think the way you were expressing it is so there's this mix of nostalgia, like wanting to hang on. This has been a house we've been at for 6 years. We've had a lot of good times here. We have a lot of great memories in this house. We like this. There's a few frustrating things. There's no perfect place, but we like the neighborhood. We've enjoyed this place. So, and feeling that way about this house, feeling that way about our current lives and our jobs. Things are very comfortable right now. And I think human beings, when we get comfortable and we like where we're at, why on earth would you want to change it up? So I think that's part of what I'm feeling, is there's this excitement about something new, but it's also a lot of unknown.
And the attachment to where we're at.
And the attachment, and there's a lot to like. But I think just because you like something and because you're comfortable doesn't always mean you should stay there forever.
Right. Well, of course not. And we'll carry it with us. But yeah, I agree.
So it's this, it's kind of this back and forth. There's there's a lot going on. So yeah, and we talk about it a lot, not just on this, but we do. And we have a dream that we talked about. I mean, I've dreamed about getting in a car and looking for the keys, and so it's just interesting how even on the subconscious level, I think we start to work through a lot of the major changes that are going on.
Of course, yeah, the energy is shifting, and I'm really looking forward to what's coming and taking all of you with us. But part of me, I'll always remember our time here with fond memories, because overall I think it's been a really good experience.
Right. It really has. And so appreciating what you've learned, and I know we talked about cycles a few weeks ago, but in this chapter, but exciting to go to another chapter, and in our case, in a whole new book, right? And allowing yourself to feel what you need to feel during this transition time, So I think that's really what Sandy and I are focusing on as we talk about it individually. And there's no right or wrong way to feel. So that's the important thing. It's not judging it.
Exactly. And just allowing the emotions as they come up to be what they are, meeting them where they are, and riding the wave of that together. Just getting through it together.
So all about decluttering, both on the physical and the emotional. And we're pretty wiped out.
We really are.
We're pretty tired. We were like, we usually look forward to this, but we're like, oh my gosh, we're so tired, but we can't let another week go by. So give us kudos. We do have a quote here at the end that says, "Get rid of clutter, and you may find it was blocking the door you were looking for." It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
I do too.
Both on the physical and emotional level. So ending with the Sandyism.
What'd you come up with?
Well, my bag of Sandyisms are getting a little...
You keep saying that, but yet he keeps digging into that magic bag.
Well, she has a lot, but I've been doing like one an episode, so I think we need to register this as a official language of the world, because once you get to like 100 words, but anyway, this one I think fits with the garage sale theme. Cattywampus. What does cattywampus mean?
Well, discombobulated. It's upside down and backwards. It's
cattywampus. So hopefully, not unlike our episode today, was not cattywampus. So yeah, a lot of our garage sale experience was cattywampus, but we ended up landing on our feet.
Yes, and Shay, my daughter, came and helped with it for a few days.
And
That
brought
was
us
actually kind of
coffee
fun.
in the morning. Kudos.
Yeah.
She brought a hot Starbucks to both of us. We were like,
I love you.
you rock. And she ended up getting the fountain that we didn't sell. So good for Shay. Thank you, Shay, for all your help. So that is our episode, everybody. We want to remind you on our platforms, both on our podcast listeners. We appreciate those that hear our voices, but if you want to see our faces, you could subscribe in YouTube, and don't forget to hit the notification so that you will get a notification when we publish a new episode. In case it's not every week, so that it may happen again. But YouTube, you can see our faces, podcasts, and all the different platforms. You can hear our voices. So please give us feedback. We appreciate that. We hope this continues to be valuable as you follow us. And then when we take off on the road in the summer, we will take you with us where we go. And it won't just be this background anymore.
Yeah, it's time to switch all this up.
Yeah.
I know.
Sandy's like, I'm done with this. I'm like,
I like it, but it's time to move.
Exactly. But anyway, everybody, have a great week.
Have a great week.
Thank you.
See you next week.